Hello students, welcome you all in the next lecture of Computer Integrated Production Planning. In the last lecture we discussed about the Computer Integrated Production Planning in details, right? Material requirement planning is one of the topic of the Computer Integrated Production Planning, right? So here we discuss about the material requirement planning in details. Hope you like this lecture. In material requirement planning is a computational technique that converts the master schedule for end products into a detailed schedule for the raw material and components used in the end products. The detailed schedule identifies the quantities of each raw material and component item. It also tells when each item must be ordered and delivered so as to meet the master schedule for the final product. MRP is often considered to be a subset of inventory control. While it is an effective tool for minimizing unnecessary inventory investment, MRP is also useful in production scheduling and purchasing of material. The concept of MRP is relatively straightforward. What complicates the application of the technique is the sheer magnitude of the data to be processed. The master schedule provides the overall production plan for final products in terms of month by month or week by week delivery requirements. Each of the products may contain hundred of individual components. These components are produced out of raw materials, some of which are common among the components. For example, several parts may be produced out from the same sheet metal. The components are assembled into the same sub-assemblies, then these sub-assemblies are put together in more complex assemblies and so forth until the final product is assembled together. Each production and assembly step takes time. All these factors must be incorporated into the MRP computations. Although each separate computations is uncomplies, the magnitude of all the data to be processed is so large that the application of MRP is virtually impossible unless carried out on a digital computer. So friends, here we discuss about the MRP. MRP is the most important part of the computer integrated production planning. Without MRP there is no such material planning, right? Because when we think about some production, there is always need of the raw material. So material requirement planning is depend on the scheduling. As per the schedule, by using MRP we find the inventory. If inventory is not available related to the product, then we purchase the particular raw material as per the requirement. So by the raw material we produce one single product, right? That product is useful in some assembly. By that assembly we further produce some complex assembly. So finalize at last we reach at the some finalized result, right? Okay, like for the some product we use the same raw material, right? So at that time we use the MRP system to find that material is available or not. If not available, then particular planning for that purchasing of the raw material. Okay, so with MRP system we can handle all the production easily and its requirement easily. Okay, in the next slide, basic MRP concept. So material requirement planning is based on several basic concepts which are implicit in preceding description but not explicitly defined. These concepts are: first one is the independent versus dependent demand, second one is the lumpy demand, third one is the lead time, and fourth one is the common use items. Okay, basic MRP concept. In the basic MRP concept, Material requirement planning is based on the several basic concepts which are implicit, means indirect, and explicit, means clearly defined. Means these concepts are indirect concept, not clearly defined, but it is very much important in the MRP, right? So first one is the independent versus dependent demand. Okay, so let's move on the next topic, independent versus dependent demand. Okay, this discussion is fundamental to MRP. Independent demand means that demand for a product is unrelated to demand for other item. End product and spare parts are example of this whose demand is independent. Independent demand patterns must usually be forecast. In this topic, independent versus dependent, first we learn about what is independent demand, right? So in this paragraph we learn about the what is independent demand. Okay, this distinction is fundamental to MRP. Independent demand means that demand for product is unrelated to demand for the other items, means it is directly demanded. Okay, there is no matter other product is demanded or not, it is not depend on the other demand, right? Clear? Okay. In the dependent demand means that demand for the item is related directly to the demand for some other product. The dependency usually derives from the fact that the item is a component of the other product. Not only component parts but also raw materials and sub-assemblies are examples of items that are subjected to the dependent demand. Okay, some product is depend on some final product is dependent on the many of sub parts, right? That many of sub parts, that sub parts is depend on some assembly, that assembly is depend on some small parts, right, which assemble together and make some final assembly. So it is dependent on that sub part. Okay, in the next slide, in some topic bill of material, we learn about how dependency is created on the product and how it is fulfilled, right? So hope you understand what is dependent demand. Various demand for the firm and the product must often be forecast. The raw materials and component parts should not be forecast. Once the delivery schedule for the end product is established, the requirement for components and raw materials can be calculated directly. Okay, for example, even though the demand for the automobiles in a given month can only be forecast, once that quantity is stabilized, we know that for regular tires will be needed to deliver the car plus one spare tire. Various demand for the firm and product must often be forecast. The raw material and component part should not be forecast. Once the delivery schedule for the end product is established, the requirement for the component and the raw material can be calculated directly. Okay, from this paragraph we can understand that the demand is forecast on the schedule, right? We can directly calculate which one is the directly demand. Once the product schedule is over, then how we calculate the product time to manufacture it. Okay, for example, even though the demand for the automobiles in a given month can only be forecast, once the quantity is stabilized, we know that the 4 regular tires will be needed to deliver the car plus one spare tire. Means we already know that the which is the requirement. In the 4-wheel there is not only 4-wheel is required, always there is a requirement of plus one spare wheel, right? That means in the all the production line we always consider about some plus things, right? MRP is the appropriate technique for determining quantities of dependent demand items. These items constitute the inventory of manufacturing, raw material, work in progress, component parts, and sub-assemblies. Accordingly, MRP is a very powerful tool in the planning and control of manufacturing inventories. Yes, it's right. In the next slide, lumpy demand. In an order point system, the assumption is generally made that the demand for the item in inventory will occur at a gradual continuous rate. This assumption is important for developing the mathematical model to derive the economic lot size formula. This means in always some order is gradually increasing as per the requirement, right? So we can always applying there is a mathematical model, okay? So how we control the inventory, okay? In a manufacturing situation, demand for raw materials and components of a product will occur in a large increments rather than in small. In a manufacturing situation, demand for a raw material and components of a product will occur in a large increment rather than in small. Okay, almost continuous units. The large increment correspond to the quantities needed to make in a certain batch of the final product. When demand occurs in these large steps, it referred as the lumpy demand. Okay, in general system, we look forward for the regular quantities of the production, so the demand is the gradual demand. But in runtime condition, when we go for the manufacturing, we think that this particular product is required more, so we order for that a large increment rather than in small. So this large increment of demand is called as the lumpy demand. Okay, so MRP is the appropriate approach for dealing with the inventory situation characterized by the lumpy demand. In the next slide we learn lead time. So the lead time for a job is the time that must be allowed to complete the job from start to finish. Okay, in previous slides we many times learn about the lead time. What is lead time? So the lead time for a job is the time that must be allowed to complete the job from start to finish. Okay, it is from start to finish. Okay, in manufacturing there are two kinds of lead times: ordering lead times and manufacturing lead times. Okay, so lead times is divided into the two parts. First one is the ordering lead time and second one is the manufacturing lead time. And ordering lead time for an item is the time required from initiation of the purchase request to receipt of the item from the vendor. If the item is a raw material that is stocked by the vendor, the ordering lead time should be relatively short, perhaps a few weeks. If the item must be fabricated by the vendor, the lead time may be substantial, perhaps several months. Okay, that is depend on the demand. Okay, that is depend on the order. What type of order you provide to the vendor? If it is the material order, then it is the ready to go, right? But it is the fabricated order, right? So vendor have to fabricate a particular order and then it is ready to go, right? So it is depend on the order how much time it will take. Okay, next one is the manufacturing lead time. So manufacturing lead time is the time needed to process the part through the the sequence of machines specified on the route sheet. It includes not only operation time but also the non-productive time that must be allowed. Okay, manufacturing lead time means what? It is the time from the starting of the process when you start move the material. Okay, once you hand over the raw material, okay, then the time of the manufacturing lead time is start and up to the end means up to the dispatch when the product is going to be prepared and it is ready to go, right? So manufacturing lead time is completely manufacturing process time in which the particular raw material is passed and converted into the finishing product. In MRP lead times are used to determine starting dates for assembling final products and sub-assemblies, for producing component parts and for ordering raw materials. Common uses of item. In manufacturing, the basic raw materials are often used to produce more than one component type. Also, a given component may be used on more than one final product. For example, the same type of steel rod stock may be used to produce screw on an automatic screw machine. In this topic, we learn about the common use items. Common use items means what? There is the one steel rod, right? So we can use it for the several products, right? It is used in the one product, but if we want to use into the like a screw, right, automatic screw machine, in the automatic screw machine, then it is ready to work, right? So each of the screw types may then be used on the several different products. MRP collects these common use items from different products to effect economies in ordering a raw material and manufacturing components. Okay, there are several products in the company, right? One company is manufacture several products, right? So that product has somehow common raw materials or some products which if we manage that particular common items, then the inventory control is very easy and the finance is optimized, right? Inputs to MRP. So what are the inputs of the MRP? So first one is there are three inputs of the MRP. First one is the master production schedule and other order data. Second one is the bill of material, which defines the product structure, and the last one is the inventory record file. So MRP converts the master production schedule into the detailed schedule. For raw materials and components. For the MRP program to perform this function, it must operate on the data contained in the master schedule. However, this is only one of three sources of input data on which MRP relies. So here is the three inputs of the MRP. First one is the master production schedule. Okay, second one is the BOM, right? It is not like a bomb, it's a bomb, right? Bill of material. The inventory record file. Okay. So here is the chart. Some is the input of the MRP system and some is the output. Okay. So input is the customer order, sales forecast. Okay. That goes into the master production schedule, and master production schedule is the input of the MRP processor. Same engineering drawing, and finally bill of material which going to the MRP processor. Okay, material requirement planning processor. Same service pairs requirement, that is also goes towards the MRP processor. Same inventory transactions, inventory record file, that also goes towards the MRP processor. So here we learn about the basic inputs, right, of the MRP. So customer orders is input of the production schedule, master production schedule. It is not the direct input of the MRP processor, but it is the indirect input of the MRP processor. So here is the one object which converted to the customer order, sales forecast, into the master production schedule, right? So master production schedule is the input for the MRP processor. Okay, and master production schedule gives some output which is input for the MRP processor. Same here, inventory transactions, inventory control, inventory record file, which all are the inputs for the MRP processor. After that, MRP processor process and find some requirement which is used for the production, and finally gives some output, right? So this is the basic input of the MRP. Okay, so after this lecture, in the next lecture, right, we discuss these three into the details. So in this lecture we discuss about what is MRP. Okay, what is MRP, then basic MRP concept, which is like implicit, right, preceding description but not explicitly defined. Means MRP planning is based on these four common topic, right? Not directly, but it is indirectly, right? So first one is the independent versus dependent demand, second one is the lumpy demand, third one is the lead time, and fourth one is the common use item. And last we discuss about the inputs of the MRP. In that we discuss about the main three input of the MRP. So here is the chart of this. So hope you understand what is MRP. In the next lecture we discuss about the input sources of the MRP in details. Okay, so hope you like this lecture. Thank you very much to watch this video. Thank you.